All right, we're back. We're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, my locker room youth movement, producer Nikki Earnshaw, and the intern Andrew Leeds here with me on a Sunday. A beautiful Sunday. We've had some great weather. Man, they played in a pressure cooker though yesterday. That'd be like 98, 99 degrees. Temperature probably on the field. You can see the heat bubbling off the turf.
I was gonna say you guys were talking about Zach Wheeler looking tired. I have a feeling why. He might have just been cooking in that heat.
All right, now it's every Sunday throughout the baseball season. We go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, sponsored by Blitz's Market in Ocean City, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches we did this morning, hoagies, gourmet burgers, and their vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the locker room and get $1 off their 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That's Blitz's Markets, 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Now coming out of the bullpen for Tommy Greene, let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room reliever from the World Series 2008 World Series Phillies, Scott Eyre. Good morning, Scott.
What's up, fellas?
All right, man.
We're
We're doing all right. Hey, Scott, what a time to be a Phillies fan, man. First time since this is the first time it's happened since 1973 that the Phillies have won their 50th game in 76 games. That's outstanding.
Oh yeah. So I can do easy math since I'm 52 and born in 72. So 51 years ago, that's a nice accomplishment for them.
Is that unbelievable?
It's a fun team to watch on TV too.
Hey Scott, one of a big part of the Phillies' success has been their pitching staff, but both starters and relievers. I mean, we got some relievers that have under sub-1 ERAs. It's unbelievable.
It's always nice. I was looking at the stats because I haven't watched as much this year. I've been coaching down here in Florida, coaching a collegiate summer league team called the Gulf Shores Collegiate League. And I hate to say it on the Phillies broadcast, but we're playing all our games at the Braves complex. So I take a lot of flack when I show some of my World Series rings.
Yeah, that's right. Make sure you shine it up and put it right in their face.
I do. But I'm down here. I'm not too far from where Mr. Keckering went to school.
Wow.
Or Ryan Kirkland.
He was at Venice High School, and it's just down the street from us.
Oh, you told me you saw him pitch in high school, right?
I did, but not knowing who he was, they were playing my brother's high school team, and I drove down from Bradenton area and saw this kid throwing, and I remember someone saying his name, and I thought, man, he's pretty good. And then I turned the TV on, and what was it, last year was his rookie year?
Yes.
Yeah, in the major.
End of the year.
And I remember thinking, man, and then they said Venice High School. I thought, wait, I think I saw that kid pitch.
Hey, Scott, let me ask you this question. We just got breaking news that Taijuan Walker is going on the IL. He's got an index.
Can't call it DL anymore.
Yeah, you can't call it anymore. IL, and but he's got an index finger problem. Spencer Turnbull started the season off. He pitched lights out. He was pitching really well. Then of course, Walker came back because he was shut down at the beginning of the season. He comes back. They put him into the rotation. How hard is it for a pitcher? Because now you were a reliever and a pretty good one. How hard is it for a starting pitcher to go to be like a yo-yo? Go start off the season as a starter, go to the bullpen, and then go back to being a starter.
I think a lot of it depends on your mental makeup. I started when I first came up in '97 with the White Sox, and then started '98 in the bullpen. Then I started '98. I'm sorry, in the rotation, and then I ended in the bullpen, which for me meant that, I guess the mental type part of the game. I was more apt to pitch as a relief because I just wanted to be in every game.
Yeah.
And I had the arm to bounce back. So for me, it was kind of easy to start to relief. Not that big a deal. But some guys relish in the fact they just go out and pitch and do their job. And, he seems to have done that starting or relieving. It's just a matter of once he goes to the bullpen, you keep his pitch count up so he can go back out and give you 4 or 5 innings as a starter.
Yeah, definitely. And Scott, it's Nick here. We got to talk about Spencer Turnbull a little bit. I want to keep diving into him because he's going to get the start on Wednesday against the Tigers. How would you approach coming back out of the bullpen? You talk about the mental makeup. If you were in that position, how would you approach going back to becoming a starter and going back through that process again?
I actually got to do it a few times. Matter of fact, the day before my son was born, we had a pitcher get sick right before the game started. And I don't think in 2 months previous to that, I had thrown more than 2 innings. So your mental side's got to go out there, almost like one of these openers nowadays. You got to go out there and figure, okay, I'm going to pitch 2 to 3 innings, just do my job like a reliever. And if they ask you to go more, you just got to stay mentally focused. I did end up going 5 no-hit that day, by the way.
You had to slide that in there, Scott. You have to.
Why
not? Good morning, Scott. This is Andrew here. And wanted to switch gears, and Nikki and I were actually at the game on Friday night where they were honoring Cole Hamels for his retirement. Yep. And obviously you shared a locker room. Cole Hamels on that 08 World Series roster. And I was just curious to hear, what do you remember from having Cole Hamels in that locker room? Like, what was it like, and any specific memories you have shared with him from your time in Philly?
He was more of a quiet leader. He wasn't a loud guy at all. He just kind of got to the field, did his work, did his job, and obviously pitched lights out. But my first Cole Hamels story is I was with the Giants in spring training, and you guys probably remember it was one of his first spring training outings. He threw like 4 or 5 one-hit or no-hit innings against the Yankees in spring training. And I remember guys like J.T. Snow, Tim Worrell, ex-Philly, sitting around the locker room in the trainer room watching this kid pitch, and everybody's thinking, man, this kid's going to be really good. And he fulfilled all those dreams.
Yeah, it was a pretty emotional, pretty cool night for Cole Hamels. They gave out replica 2009 rings, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they did that. They should have given the 2008 out. But
yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, I know, right? We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Scott Eyre, as part of the 2008 World Series championship team. We'll never forget that. Scott, the Phillies just signed Sanchez to a contract extension, and one thing that he said that I read is that when you're pitching with guys like Aaron Nola, Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, he says he sees what they do, and he wants to equal that. He like looks at that as competition. Do pitchers feed off each other like that?
Absolutely. The same as hitters feed off other hitters.
Yeah.
I was in spring training with the Blue Jays one year with Roy Halladay, and Steve Paris, and Chris Carpenter. And then we had like Kelvin Escobar, and you could see all these guys that were veteran type guys. And you see their work ethic off the field, and it kind of makes you want to do more. And then you watch them pitch, and me being a lefty and all being righties, you still ask questions. Sanchez could walk up to Wheeler and say, hey, what do you got on these 2 hitters? The scouting report says this, but you pitched in this way. And not everybody throws the same either.
Yeah.
Everybody has different pitches, different, way they approach hitters. But if you learn to mesh all that together, it just makes you better. As long as the other guys are willing to, share their knowledge, which nowadays pretty much everybody does.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, let me ask you this question. I'm sure a lot of people think that on your off days, especially if you're a starter, you're in the dugout. But these guys in their off days, they're pretty intense. I notice you see sometimes you'll get a view of the dugout on the TV, and these guys are up with their arms on the thing, and they're watching every little thing that's going on to pick up little nuances. I guess. I mean, you're not clowning around when you're on your days off in the dugout. You guys are watching intently, right?
No, the clowning around's for the bullpen. Until the 4th or 5th inning, but no, I watched a lot of when I first got called up. I was sitting next to Jamie Navarro in Chicago, and he's kind of laughing and joking. But as soon as our pitcher went out to face their hitters, there was no more talking. There was it's pay attention time, especially if you're pitching the next day. You want to see what a hitter's doing. The scouting report may have been from a week before,
right,
and he may have changed something. We all remember how Cal Ripken changed his stance every at-bat almost. So there's just little things you want to try and pick up, especially with all the data that's out there today.
Yeah, Scott, I'm going to ask you something because
Yep.
On Friday night with the pitch clock, Jordan Montgomery was winding down. There was a couple times that an automatic ball could have been called. And the fans of Philadelphia started counting down as he was pitching. For you, how would that have affected you?
Distraction.
And, like, how do you talk to your younger guys? Because I know you coach. How would you talk to your younger guys about maybe approaching the pitch clock maybe at some point down the line?
Well, first of all, I'm a big fan of the pitch clock. We were taught when we were young, get the ball, throw it. Your position players don't want to be standing around while you're, dilly-dallying and stuff like that. I know some people nowadays think, pitchers are getting hurt because of the pitch clock, and that's bullcrap to me. But, if someone in the background is starting to chant, 3, 2, you have to learn to block that stuff out.
Yeah.
Guys, fans are yelling obscenities at you, all sorts of crazy stuff. If you're hearing that, you're already beat. Now, if you're hearing the pitch clock, you're pretty much beat as well.
Well, you know what? I mean, let's face it. I don't care what sport it is in Philadelphia. The fans are great. Having that support by, I mean, it's got to rattle the opposing teams. But you're taught as a professional athlete to block all that noise out. But you're human, Scott. You probably hear that, right?
Oh yeah, you're definitely human. You hear it, but you have to learn to not listen to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Hey, Scott, before we let you go, you won the 2008 World Series with the Phillies. Give us one memory that you might have, that's something that stands out about the Phillies that whole year.
It's easy. From when I first got there, my first day in the clubhouse. I was in Chicago with the Cubs, and not that we weren't a good professional clubhouse, and guys worked their butt off and things like that year. But when I got traded there, I'm sitting in the locker room my first day, and Chooch is next to me, Clay Condry's right there, Durbin, and then you got Brett Myers down to the side. He's loud and telling jokes and goofing around. But I do remember calling home to tell my wife and about like how professional everything is. Everybody went about their job, and once the game, about 30 minutes from game time, TVs got turned off, music got turned off. No one said, "Hey, I was watching that." It was just, that's what we did, and it was game time. It was go time.
It was all baseball.
And then you start the game. Yeah, then you get out there and you start the game, and bullpen all walks down together, high five, and everybody in the dugout before we left. Everybody, just going about their job, getting ready to do what they need to do, and that was something that was very cool to me.
Well, Scott, I got to tell you, man, you provided us with memories that'll last a lifetime. We always love having you on. By the way, for being our guest, and filling in for Tommy Greene every once in a while, I will be sending you out that Philly Connect hat. I got your proper size. That'll be in the mail. And I really appreciate you coming out of the bullpen for Tommy Greene. We really appreciate it.
Those memories go both ways. We created memories for fans, but those fans created memories for me because I was scared to death to play in Philly. I was a visitor. And then, I get there and I got welcomed with open arms and loved by fans. And so, it's pretty fun. I still go back, what has it been, 15, 16 years already?
Man. Already, how about that?
And, it's flying by.
Is that unbelievable?
It is.
Doesn't it seem like yesterday for you, Scott?
Man, the last time I played, most of my high school kids weren't born.
They don't even know who you are.
No, they have to look it up. And then they'll ask me questions like, "Hey, who's the toughest hitter you faced?" And I'll immediately say Todd Helton. And they'll be like, "Who's that?" It's crazy.
So when they ask you who's Scott Eyre, say, "Google me."
Yeah, I do. Most of the parents I meet, I'm in a small town in Columbus, North Carolina, and I coach in Landrum, South Carolina. Go! Well, I can't say it here. Go Landrum Cardinals, but not Cardinals.
All right, Scott.
Parents will come up to me and be excited about it. So yeah.
Scott, we really appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your weekend. I know you're down in Florida. You'll be back home around July 10th.
Yep, July 10th. We're done with this college season.
All right. Good luck to you, Scott, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
There he is, former Philadelphia Phillies relief pitcher, 2008 World Series champion, Scott Eyre on the Tom's River Volkswagen Sports Hotline. On the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene is sponsored by Blitz's Market in Ocean City, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Hey, start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the locker room and get $1 off They're 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That's Blitz's Markets at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Of course, we want to thank Dave and Joan Newman. You guys, did you enjoy your freshly squeezed today?
Oh, it's
yeah.
been
Phenomenal, right?
fantastic.
Halfway through, it's
I'm almost done.
probably not gonna
All
make
right,
it.
bottoms up, guys. All right, the first hour of the locker is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 locations in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and my Locker Room Youth Movement. Producer Nikki Earnshaw and the intern Andrew Leeds right here on 97.3 ESPN.